Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, man? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great. What a day, Jacques. We still here, man. You seen that boy Julio Jones at camp, huh?
Man, killing it, dog. What a week. Let me say that. What a week.
Yep.
It's been an exciting week. Haven't been this excited in a long time.
Exactly.
For the Titans, but it's been a hell of a week, man. He looked good.
His feet was doing it.
It was
chopping up, right? Yep. Catching everything. You know, he's like, I'm back on my God stuff over here. You know, I'm a receiver God out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, you know. And I was telling Jacques earlier that offensively, I've never been this excited for the Titans ever. And I've been a Titan fan since day one. I have not been this excited for offense. On the other hand, I haven't been as skeptical as I've ever been on our defense. It's really weird how I'm feeling right now. It's like mixed emotions right now. You know what I mean? It's like, should I be with her or should I not? You know what I mean? Like, I'm weighing all the options. But we're going to talk about the impact of a Mr. Julio Jones. We're going to talk about that today, man.
Right.
Yep.
That's facts, Hawk. Like you said, we talked about it earlier, and I'm feeling the same way, man. This is like a lot of hype around the Titans offense that I think we've never had this much hype. Mm-hmm. Even dating back to last year when we were putting up all the points and everything, and the offense was moving and just scoring a lot of points to 2,000 yards from Derrick Henry. This is something that is not even in the McNair and Steve McNair in them days. We haven't had this much hype. So this is something that's turning into a national conglomerate, a national just spotlight on the Titans and Nashville, the city itself. It's a big impact and it's a big deal, man. I watched the presser today of Julio and of Vrabel and all them, and I just noticed something that even with the Titans channel, man, 253 people in the chat, and I'm looking like, wow, I've never really seen it go up this much unless we had some type of big game or something. But this is just because of Julio Jones. And imagine all the fans we've gained too. There's gonna be a lot of bandwagon fans, people are fans of Julio that's gonna become Titans fans, and just people that just will actually just want to see the Titans play. So it's gonna be an exciting year, dog.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. And I know we had our discussion in our live show as far as what number he was going to wear. Y'all see that number back here? He's rocking that too. Julio's rocking that too. Now, that's, a folded jersey, a Titans jersey or whatever. But we rocking that today as a 2 jersey. So, Jacques, you had just told me as to the reason why he chose number 2, right?
Yes. So, He said, of course, he didn't want to take the number 11 from AJ. He was like, hey, do your thing. That's you. Of course, Julio's looking for a fresh start. It's a fresh start, new beginnings, and everything like that. But he did mention that he chose 2, and 2 plus the 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 11, of course. We know that. You got 2, then you got 11, and then he said times 11, which is 22. So it's basically him, AJ, and Henry. So it's like that 3-headed monster. And he didn't include Tannehill, but I like how he did it. And it's not verbatim, but people, you can go back and look at it and read the quote and everything like that. But it was to that standpoint. But yeah, it's he knows. He's like, hey, 2, and the reason why he did it is like, hey, I'm just here, man. And I'm just here to win. But it's a fresh start for him. It's a fresh start. And I probably would have did the same thing. I'm coming to a new team. I just want a fresh start, something new. And just leave the past in the past and let's get into the future. Also, listening to him in the presser, he did say also, he said, man, it feels like he's back in college.
Wow.
And I said, that made me feel good inside, because that's telling me that you're loving the game, because you play college ball. That was the most funnest time you've ever played football. You know what I mean? Besides playing in high school and everything like that. So he's back with his Alabama brothers. The Titans have a culture now. Like, a lot of people don't understand that the Titans have a culture now. We have a culture, right? And I think a lot of players love the culture, and it's becoming to be something where eventually you're going to see everybody want to come to this culture, and eventually, hey, we're already a winning culture, but get ready for a Super Bowl culture, right?
Right, correct. And I think, I think Quintorris Lopez Jones, that's his government name, Quintorris, right? I think Quinn was like, Julio. I think he was thinking like, man, look, Tennessee was a top 5 offense last year. Even the year before, their offense was incredible. Think about adding me to the mix, right? I got my boy King Henry. We working out like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Foley, Alabama, which is, not too far from Nashville, closer to home. He's probably thinking like, man, look, I want to be part of a winning culture, a winning team, a team that's right there. We won the AFC Championship. The culture here is incredible. The city is incredible. It's just a perfect fit. And the question has always been, as far as for wide receivers, do wide receivers make that big of an impact on a team? And historically, no. Historically, that could be an added piece. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you why this is a bit different for Julio Jones and the Titans. Most of the times we look at Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, when they went on teams, they did not win the Super Bowl, but they did make an impact. But they came onto the team as the primary receiver, right? They changed everything because of him. They didn't have a number 2 receiver. You know what I'm saying? You think of Terrell Owens, they had like Freddie Mitchell, right? Mm-hmm. Look at Randy Moss when he went to the Patriots. They had Wes Welker, but at that time, Wes Welker was still trying to find his way and things like that. Randy was the dude. Okay. What's different here is that he has Arthur Juan Brown on the other side of the field. Mm-hmm. So Julio doesn't have to be the primary target. That's where the difference is going to be made. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Julio might not get 1,000 yards. He ain't got to get 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? All he needs to do, one, he's going to make his catches. He's going to make his touchdowns. And when you look at his generation of receivers, he's the best wide receiver in this generation. You can argue as much as you want. Just look at the numbers, okay? Look at what Julio Jones has done over the past 10 seasons. It's amazing. No one has amassed more yards in 10 seasons than Julio Jones, okay? Mm-hmm. When you look at Julio as well, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. That's not even a debate either. He's there, okay? He's arguably, when I was thinking about this the other day, for the Atlanta Falcons, you had Deion Sanders, you had Mike Vick, Jamal Anderson, Andre Rison, trying to think of some other players they've had. They've had some pretty good players. At their position, I would say Deion probably, because Deion is arguably the best player to ever play the game. Yep. But Deion didn't play for Atlanta for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? He played for maybe 6 seasons. Julio played there for 11 years. Julio's arguably the best Atlanta Falcon to ever wear that jersey. I mean, Matt Ryan's a hell of a player too. Falcon fans, if you're listening, hey, get off that smoke when it comes to Matt Ryan. Okay, Matt Ryan's a hell of a quarterback. He's not the problem. The offense, the running game is a problem. Passing game is never the problem. It's your defense. And the defense is trash in Atlanta. Julio Jones, Quintorris Lopez Jones is incredible. He is going to also now, where A.J. Brown was having probably nightmares before he got picked, Julio got picked, about, man, every game I want to see three DBs on me every time, even a linebacker. I'm going to have 4 people bracketing me because there's no one else to throw to, right? Derrick Henry sitting there like, man, they sitting 10 in a box. They sitting 10 in a box. What are we going to do? Julio changes the whole dynamic of our offense, man. So welcome Quintorris Lopez Jones, a.k.a. from Foley, Alabama, number 2, Julio Jones. Welcome to the Titans, bro.
Also, it reminds me of the Minnesota Vikings when they had Chris Carter and Randy Moss and Culpepper. That's what it reminds me of, having 2 high-powered big guys on the outside. And we know what they did. 2 NFC championships.
Facts, no paper.
and lost both of them. But, I mean, the impact that they had to have 2 receivers like that, it was amazing. See, Culpepper used to go off.
They had Jake Reed, too.
And Jake Reed, right. And they had Randall Cunningham, I think, there for a minute as well.
Randall was balling.
Cold, man.
Cold. He was better. He might have had a better season with the Vikings than he did his entire
with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it reminds me of that. And just the factor is, it's so scary. I used to say all the time, man, last year, man, when you look at the Titans offense, I'm like, and I call Hawk up like, they done messed up, right? I'm like, you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up, right? The offense was so methodical. Now think about that. You did that with Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith, right?
Yep.
And Corey Davis ain't on no level of a Julio Jones. No level of a Julio Jones. No level. He's good. Don't get me wrong. Inconsistent from times, but he's good. They got him paid. They got him a job with the Jets. I mean, he's supposed to be receiver number one. But when you now have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry, y'all really don't fuck. And what did AJ say the same thing? Y'all know, right?
Right.
I mean, you have literally. Yep. I mean, how do you scheme against that? 4 in the box. Okay. Well, you bring down. You come on, bring you little 8 guys down.
Yeah.
All right. That leaves these 2 1-on-1. And I hit one of them on a slant, and it's a goal. It's a wrap.
Facts. No paper.
Also, Ferguson. People were talking about we need a tight end. I said it on our last show. I said, we might need a tight end, but I got to thinking. I said, you know what? We really don't. Ferguson, this can actually be a big year for Ferguson. Ferguson, because he's not gonna have a lot of attention. Exactly. So he has that one-on-one opportunity, hey, to sit back on them curls or to get down that seam and to go. It's right. But Ferguson can catch. That's what he's known for catching. He rarely drops balls.
Right.
Also, with Reynolds, Fitzpatrick, racing, all the rookies, Darrington Evans, they have an opportunity to do something great to the point where it can be where Tannehill is like, you know what? I'm like a kid in the candy shop. I can throw it anywhere, anytime. I can hand it off to Derrick Henry, who can break it. And imagine, this is actually a scary thought. Derrick Henry possibly could run for another 2,000 yards. Yeah. Like realistically, he can run for another 2,000 yards. Now, we know what happens when he doesn't have 8 in the box. Is 8 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards here, 8 yards here, 10 yards here, 9 yards, 15 yards. You're like, okay, can y'all stop him? Can y'all stop him? Can he be stopped? That's a scary thought.
Yep.
Vrabel also mentioned, too, when I was watching the press, he said the team is in good condition. I said, okay, with the team being in good condition, players are coming to this is voluntary workouts, guys. This is not mandatory. This is not mandatory training. This is voluntary. Julio's there. Byard's there. Ryan Tannehill's there. AJ's there. I seen Archery. Danico Archery was there, right? This is voluntary. So this tells me that they have something. They know they have something special in this building that's boiling. And they know, hey, I feel like we're on the same page. And that's what they're probably thinking in the building. We all on the same page. This is going to be something special, guys. And I think the national media is not ready for it. And of course, we'll talk about that. How we've been getting a lot of backlash and a lot of just a bunch of hater crap going on in the media. And I understand, like you said earlier about the defense. We get it. The defense wasn't good last year. But guys, we still won 11 games, okay? Let that sink in. We won 11 games, okay? We had to scratch and claw for those 11 games, but that's the Titan way. That's what we do, okay? That's what we do. That's what we do. We do that, okay?
Yep.
But now you have elevated your offense to be top 5. Bruh, I'm now seeing the little memes and everything of comparison and contrasting of everything. Now they got the Titans up there with the 2 best. Who has the 2 best receivers in the league? The Titans, the Buccaneers. Now we're on that list.
Right.
We're on that list now. AJ for 2 years, 2,000 yards in his first 2 years. That's rare.
Yep.
That's rare. Okay. We know what Julio can do.
Hall of Fame stuff, brother.
That's Hall of Fame stuff. So what that does, and another benefactor for having Julio Jones is he's teaching these young receivers. Now we go back to look at Atlanta. They had T. Higgins. They got Gage. Those young receivers learned a lot, and you can tell.
Calvin Ridley.
They got Calvin Ridley. I mean, when you're looking at these young receivers, look what Calvin Ridley did. Because of all the attention was on Julio, Calvin Ridley was able to ball out and become
and they picked up his 5th-year option, too.
And they picked up his – exactly. Yep. So when I'm looking at it, I said, you got to look at the overall picture of the benefit you get. I was also – they posted of course, we know Julio was at practice today. And he was doing his footwork. And as I'm looking in the comments, they posted it on PFF's Instagram page. I'm looking in the comments, and everybody like, of course, you got haters. This is what they do. Oh, Julio, anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. But they kept saying, who is number 12? Who is number 12? Who is number 12? He looks just as fast as Julio. Who is number 12? And I'm looking, and I'm like, all the receivers that we having out there, they look focused. They look laser focused. They don't look unorganized. Their footwork is in place. And what this is doing is as they're looking at Julio, they're learning, and also as they're learning, they're becoming better pros. So what you can have out of this, you not just got a all-pro receiver and a Hall of Famer, but you also have these rookies out here that's learning the game, and eventually you might have something special that comes out of them. So it's one of those things where we have something special to the point where I don't think we realize what we have. It's amazing, man.
Yep. Agreed with everything said, man. And so, the question has been, of course, out there. A few people have thrown those questions out as far as, with Julio Jones and, what's the impact to the Titans? People like Colin Cowherd doesn't think it's a big deal. There's a lot of people on ESPN that have the Colts to still win the division because of our defense. And, again, as wide receiver position is not as big of impact as historically speaking, right? But let me tell you this, y'all. The impact of Julio Jones for me, Jacques. Okay, you ready? So, you and me have talked about our defense. You know I don't like our defense. Our defense was trash last year, right? 29th in the league. If the defense can at least get to 16, at least 16, can improve to that with the offense that we have, the Tennessee Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to make the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, now, I know folks are going to say you saying it because you're a Titans fan or whatever. If you watched our show for the past 2.5 years, we've never said the Titans will win the Super Bowl. Okay? Mm-hmm. Another thing, too, is everyone needs to be healthy. Now, injuries are going to be a major part of that. Now, I'm saying Derrick Henry has to be healthy the entire season. Ryan Tannehill's going to have to be healthy as well. And Tannehill just play like Tannehill does, right? Just keep that same type of performance. A.J. Brown has to be healthy as well. So I'm saying, and of course, Julio, these guys have to be healthy. So I'm going to put that as an asterisk in my statement. If they are healthy for the majority of the season, they play 14 games or whatever even. If our defense can improve to at least 16 in the league at the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen, I know we got the Kansas City Chiefs. I know we got the Cleveland Browns. I know we got the Buffalo Bills and always the nuisance, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Colts nipping at our heels. I get that.
And you know what I'm saying? Don't count on New England.
Yep, New England and even the Miami Dolphins. Much respect, right? And other teams trying to improve. The Cincinnati Bengals trying to improve. The Ravens are still there. How did I forget about the Ravens? That's who put us out last year, right?
Right.
So they're there. But they don't have the offense that we have. We have a passing game and a running game. There's not a team in the league that has that, okay? Nobody in the league has that. If our defense can just play good enough, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Listen to what I'm saying. No smoke and mirrors. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Now, if our defense doesn't play good, we'll make the playoffs, but we will lose in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's on our defense. It's on our defense, not our offense. My eyes is on our defense. John Robb did a hell of a job getting our offense straight. Now let's see what the defense, let's see what these rookies can do. That's going to be the main play here for the Tennessee Titans this season is the defense.
That's facts.
My take on that.
Paper. And you know what? To add to that, too, it's kind of how the Kansas City Chiefs are built. Kansas City Chiefs don't have a top 10 defense. They're just good enough to be mediocre, right?
Right.
But with them just being mediocre, it allows their high-power offense with the Chiefs without a run game to be great, right?
Right.
So it's the same effect. Like you just said, something that the most of the league don't have is a run game. They don't have a Derrick Henry. And with the train that we got back there, it just what I seen last year and what the talent we had last year when we were able to do on offense, I was like, this is crazy. Some games I'm like, man, this is not even fair. This is not fair what we're doing. This is unfair. Keyshawn Johnson is another one. He was talking about, well, they're not going to be able to get Julio the ball. This is a silly trade and da-da. I'm like, Keyshawn, you got to understand. This team is built to run, right? This team is so well-rounded that you can run the ball 2 plays, pass the ball another 2 plays. We can do what the hell we want to do, right? How many offenses and teams can say they can do what the hell they want to do when they want to do it? Even if you look at the Chiefs don't have a good run game. Yeah, they got Clyde Edwards, but they don't have a good run game. The Buffalo Bills, they don't have a run game.
Their run game is terrible.
is trash. Okay, you name me any AFC teams that really have a decent run game. The Colts, you can say, they got
Browns,
okay run game.
the
Browns. We can compare to the Browns as well. The same thing with the Browns. The Browns have a run game. They have a train back there in Chubb. So they got a two-headed monster in Kamara too. So not Kamara. What's his name?
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. So with they having a two-headed monster, luckily we have a one-headed monster who can do it by himself. I know we're trying to turn it into a two-headed monster with Derrick and Evans, but what I see is the same effect. I'm like, hey, they can kind of do what the hell they want to too with two receivers, running backs. They got a tight end. They can do what they want to. So when you have teams that can literally do what they want to on offense, their defense just has to be mediocre. Even with the Browns, their defense wasn't a top 10 defense.
No.
It was mediocre, right? It was mediocre at best. Now, I will say this. It's like a girlfriend, right? You got a girlfriend. You look at her past. You're like, okay, I'm not finna dwell on your past. Bump your past. What do you got in your future? What are we looking at? What are you doing to improve yourself? What can you bring to the table, right? Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Hey, holla at you, bro. But literally, I'm looking at the Titans as the same way. Yeah, we know what you had in the past. Shane Bowen wasn't technically calling the defensive plays, but I feel like Shane has an offseason now to really work with and get his craft together. You know what I mean? Because if John Robinson and them didn't believe in him, they probably would have went out and got, hey, we need to get some help, right? Even with your ego, I think John Robinson would have stepped in and said, nah, Vrabel, sit down. We need to bring in a defensive coordinator. We got a consultant in Jim Schwartz, right? He can guide you and tell you, hey, this might not be the best play in this situation or this, that, and the third. So when you went out and you invested money into your defense, you invested in Bud Dupree. And people, I still don't think we still forget that we have Bud Dupree. I haven't even heard the media really just talk about Bud Dupree like that. Oh, we don't have Bud Dupree. I forgot. Like, damn, we do got Bud Dupree. And remember, modern medicine is so great that his ACL, whatever he tore, he'll be fine. It's just like Jeffrey Simmons. He'll be fine. Once we get him there, then you add Danico Autry, who that's why the Colts defense to me, him and them and DeForest Buckner, him and DeForest Buckner in the middle was unstoppable, bro. That's why Derrick had a hard time running the first time because of those two big jokers.
Right.
So now you take that element away from the Colts and you put him with Big Jeff. He feels just like he's at home. He's like, okay, well, we plug the middle. We good. Good luck running against the Titans. Good luck running against them up the middle. Good luck, right? You didn't have no turnover with your linebackers. Now Rashaan Evans has the eye of the tiger because, A, this is a contract year for him. B, he played terrible last year. So I know in his mind, he like, okay, we got my Alabama boys. They about to hold me accountable. I got to get my stuff together, right?
Yeah.
Got Jayon that came back, right? So now you still have the same players. The secondary, you have Jack Rabbit. I'm not worried about Jack Rabbit. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm like, do your thing, bro. You were with the Saints. You've been up against top-notch receivers and Mike Evans. You've seen competition. I'm not worried about you, bro. Christian Fulton, Chris Jackson. While those rookies are down, it's time for you to step up. Now, what I did notice, and people are not giving credit, and I've been hearing rumblings about Chris Jackson in minicamp. I'm like, hey, he's out here doing some stuff. Like, even if you can be mediocre, the way Breon Borders played last year, he was mediocre, right? I heard Christian is looking pretty smooth. So if those second-year players can step up and get a space, you're good. I'm not worried about Byron and Hooker. At this point, it's on Shane Bowen and our defensive coordinator.
It is, man.
It is on them.
It's on them. That's a fact, bro.
And you have the pieces now.
Yep, that's right.
You have the personnel. Remember, we didn't have good players on. Now you have a squad now. At that point, hey, what can you do defensively? Are you going to put in more blitz packages? Because I think we need to blitz a little more. What are you going to do? Are you going to put an extra third safety back there? Are you going to do disguise the coverages? What are you going to do? So at that point, like you said, it's a big question mark on it, but it's an exciting question mark because we upgraded our pieces that what we had last year. Last year, we were freaking trash. Defensive line, we didn't really have nobody. Butler was our guy in the secondary doing this thing. Byard took a step back. But I feel like those are the type of brothers that be like, hey, you know what? I messed up last year. I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to get in here. I'm going to work. And as I'm working, at least I have an offseason. I told you, C19 threw a lot of stuff off, man. C19, that shit was an anomaly thrown in the matrix. And C19 came in and said, you know what? Hey, guys, I'm here to stay. I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in all your little activities. And what you're going to see is teams that were good like how we were good, once you give us an offseason to work with, get ready. It's just like Tom Brady and them with Tampa Bay. Now they got an offseason to work with and get more comfortable, and they brought back their whole team. Yep. They finna be even better. They finna be even better. So even with the Titans, even with this year, we'll make the playoffs. We might even go deep, like you said, Super Bowl. But next year, because now the Titans is a hot ticket. It's the hot ticket in town to go to the Titans. Melvin Ingram. What about me, y'all? I'm over here. You see what I'm saying? So that invites more free agents to say, hey,
right,
I want to go over there. What are they doing over there? Do you think if Ndamukong Suh had a third time around, he'd be like, you know what, guys? Hey, I'll take maybe $5 million to come here and do what I got to do, man. Y'all got something special brewing over here, man. Y'all doing y'all thing. So that's another thing. And the national media doesn't understand. Tannehill has been the dude in Miami. First of all, when he got here, he's healthy. He hasn't gotten hurt. Let me knock on wood, but he hasn't gotten hurt. He's played smart football, right? Imagine in the playoff game if we had Julio last year against the Ravens. Then he has options. I can throw it up to either one. At that point, I can just throw it up. Somebody gonna catch it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So now Julio's in here is like, I ain't got to be the guy. I can get about 5 or 6 catches a game if I want to, or if I want to get 11, I can. But hey, if he comes out, he's the old Julio of old. It's gonna put pie in everybody's face that doubted the Titans, and now I think everybody's scared of the Titans now. I think that's why you have a lot of pushback, like, oh no, y'all gonna be trash, y'all gonna be this, you can be that. I would love to do a comparison and contrast to the Titans roster to the Colts roster, and really break it down to the point where, hey, let's see who will be guarding these guys. Y'all play good as a team. But we see when y'all got to the playoffs, y'all broke down like trash, okay? Y'all broke down. And now you adding Carson Wentz to the mix, and you think you're still going to get that same element. It's a big question mark on him as well. You have T.Y. Hilton and you have Michael Pittman. That's not Julio Jones, and that's not A.J. Brown. You got Zach Pascal catching balls, right? That's not them. You see what I'm saying? That's not them. And we know how Carson Wentz is. You touch him, he's hurt. He's a hit away from being hurt. So Colts, if I'm the Colts, I would calm down. Don't get cocky, okay? Calm down. Because I've seen some trash talking from them as well. I'm like, hey, y'all need to chill out, man. You don't see the Texans talking trash. You don't see the Jags talking trash. Y'all projected to win the division. That's fine. When it's time to play, we'll see.
Yep. So it sounds like you and I both think that this Julio Jones pickup is a huge pickup. And I think the fans right now are probably going around downtown saying, Julio, Julio, or Tulio, right? Tulio. So we're excited to have Julio Jones, man. Major impact to the team. We're going to talk about it throughout the season, of course, but we definitely had to have a show today upon what we feel is the impact. We've been talking about Julio Jones since he got here, man. He was like, man, we got to put this on wax, man. We gotta do a show about this, man. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to Julio, Titan fans. I'm sure you're excited just like we are to finally have, the Titans making those type of risks. Many years ago, we never did things like that. We just kept the team. We were 3-13. We'd be 3-13 again next season. So it's kind of like, look, man, we got Derrick Henry. We got these guys in their prime. We need to win right now because nothing's guaranteed. So you need to win right now. So yeah, man. Yep. So
definitely.
Cool, man. Definitely. Well, folks, that ends the show, y'all. As always, thank you for tuning in to us. As always, we kindly appreciate that. As you all know as well, you can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We are on Twitter as well at Titans Weekly 24/7. If you want to email us, you can email us at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com as well. We have merchandise. If you see here of this t-shirt that I'm rocking right here, you can get that at Teespring. All you have to do is search Tennessee Titans Weekly. The link is at the bottom as well, too. Hey, check it out, man. We got plenty of gear out there, and people are buying. Hey, get you something, man, for Tennessee Titans Weekly, man.
Definitely. Like I say every show, man, like and share the video. If you're new, if you're just a new subscriber, cut the notification bells on. It'll definitely let you know when we go live and we post new content. Also, as well, man, we're at 1,600 subscribers, man. We got a goal. We want to be at 2,000 subscribers before the season start, man. So share the video. Get this video out, man. Hey, this Julio talk is about to go even bigger. And I know y'all want to hear real content from real Titans podcasters, man. You got us, you got Titan Upload, TA, man, Mr. Titan, Titans in Truth, Two-Tone, man. You got some brothers. We got some hard hitters out there, man. We're going to bring you the real. So definitely share the video. We got a goal, 2,000 subscribers, at least by the beginning of the season, man. Help us get to our goal. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm going to tell y'all, when you look at podcasts, I think the Titan podcast community is the best out there in the NFL, man. Everyone that's doing these Titan podcasts, we watch them, man. Their shows are incredible, man. So shout out to all of them. And shout out to y'all watching our show, definitely. So, well, y'all will have a great night. We will see y'all upon our next show. Tighten up. And as always, facts, no paper.
Yes, sir.